most important aspect of it is that Space Force is something like an IT project, right? So the government, we're trying to create a decentralized space-based internet backbone because our current internet backbone is so compromised by all these corporate and foreign interests.
Right.
And with that, I always give people the example of these GPS satellites. So GPS satellites came about in the 80s, and what the military quickly realized, because they wanted those GPS satellites for themselves to help track their ships, their planes, their boats, help guide their missiles to their targets. They realized that if we scale this up a tiny bit and we just give this service out for free to everyone, that we can improve this service way faster. So for everybody who doesn't know, the GPS service right now, and since for a long time, is a free service, and the satellites are maintained by the U.S. Air Force and now the U.S. Space Force, right?
Right.
So we want to take that concept, right, of this internet, right? The military is already rolling out this space-based internet, right, for things that they're doing. A lot of their weapons are becoming robotic, are becoming non-manned, and so they need this global Wi-Fi network to be able to have all their fun toys function, right? So we're saying, hey, let's do the same thing as what they did with GPS, and let us hop on that Wi-Fi with you.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is we could do this and spend no extra money than we do right now. Right now, if you are in a rural town or on an Indian reservation or just like a house out in the middle of nowhere, if you want internet there, you call your provider, Cox, CenturyLink, whoever, and they would give you a quote for what is it going to take for us to go dig up a line and run a physical wire to your house. And oftentimes that's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So right now there's this government program. They spend over $10 billion a year giving out these grants to these tribes and these rural towns where it's a giant construction project, oftentimes through Rocky Mountains, through all this treacherous terrain, and they are building the cables that they need that go to those various locations. And it's a super expensive process. And at the end of the day, the individual, like the town that gets the Wi-Fi, now they have access to it, but they still have to pay for the service to the provider. So it's like this corporate welfare scheme of where the government is paying to develop infrastructure for these telecom companies that are super rich, and it's slow. They can only do a few places or like a minimum amount of places a year because they have a $10 billion budget and it costs way more than that. And so instead of spending that $10 billion on corporate welfare and on these ridiculous construction projects, why wouldn't we just take that same money and put that towards this space-based Wi-Fi? And now every single man, woman, and child, not just in the United States but in the entire world, could have their Wi-Fi for free. Um, it's it would give American companies access to customers all around the world. It would help us. One of the things that a lot of leaders are concerned about right now is there's this Chinese telecom company called Huawei, and they're much cheaper than a lot of the telecoms coming out of the Western world. So a lot of countries in Africa and Asia, like poorer countries, they are just building their entire telecom system with this Huawei stuff. And the United States government is screaming about, oh, there's backdoors and that the Chinese can spy on you with that. And of course, that's a case of projection because all of the stuff made in the West also has backdoors that they use to spy on people. But the point is, instead of trying to just persuade everybody not to buy a cheaper option for their telecoms, why wouldn't we do this space-based Wi-Fi? And now we have this secure internet backbone. Now we are providing a valuable service across the globe. And now it's not just in the United States. Everybody on earth has the opportunity for this universal passive income, right? It's a way to help these poor countries develop, to help people have the money that they need to survive based on just their internet use. So it'd make right now the United States, we're getting pretty unpopular around the world because our evil government's been messing with a lot of people, hurting a
Seriously.
lot of people, destroying a lot of economies. And so this is an instant way to become the most popular country on earth again. It's a way to, with these blockchain elections, actually spread democracy instead of just doing this racket nonsense where we just blow up countries and loot their resources. And it could dramatically change the world and lift everyone up, make us into the heroes again here.